What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're having trouble doing these Redux story missions, particularly when you're trying to do them for your blue armor, they can be very tough, especially when you're doing these by yourself. So I wanted to share some tips that'll make things a bit easier for the solo players. If you're doing this with a fire team, yes, they'll still be challenging, but you won't near have the level of stress you will if you're doing it by yourself. They're tough because you can't just rush through all these areas. You pretty much have to clear zone by zone. All of these are darkness zones, so if you die, you go right back to the previous checkpoint. Those things are all really frustrating. So I want to share some tips. The first thing is, and I'm sure you're already aware of this, but in order to get in the mission, you have to wear the entire Solstice armor set. However, once you get in, once you land, you can then swap out your gear. So right now, I'm doing the chosen Redux mission. So I still have my blue helmet equipped, but I went ahead and swapped out all my other gear. So I got my exotic equipped, I have my masterwork gear. That alone will make things a bit easier because you have more powerful armor on aside from that blue armor. So that's number one. I think you're probably aware of that. The other thing too, and this is very true for this chosen mission, it's also really useful to use in the 1AU Redux mission, but Skyburner's Oath is a underestimated weapon to use in these story missions. And the reason being is this weapon does extra damage versus Cabal, so obviously all these missions are Cabal, that's great. And the better thing is this will penetrate the Phalanx shields. So that's really helpful when you're doing these ad-intensive areas because there's going to be a ton of Phalanx guys. And not only are they frustrating to get rid of in their own right, but they're also blocking and defending their teammates. So if you have this Skyburner's Oath, you're going to be able to make quicker work of those areas. The extra damage versus the other Cabal guys is great. This is a full auto weapon, so you can just fire kind of indiscriminately and it'll take things out pretty quickly there. So that Phalanx guy didn't really stand much of a chance versus this weapon. Now, if I had been using a traditional weapon like Nameless Midnight, hey, it's a great weapon to use, but you have to be much more precise. You only have a split-second window of when his shield actually goes down to do more damage. So Skyburner's Oath is a really underrated weapon to use. A number of my viewers have pointed out how good this weapon is. I wanted to give it a shot, and sure enough, this is a great weapon to use in these Redux story missions. So hopefully this is helpful. This is mainly for people who are doing these solo. You need to have every advantage you can get. Go with Skyburner's Oath. Switch to a different exotic weapon when you get to a boss if you want something you're more comfortable with or does better versus bosses. But Skyburner's Oath will help you get to that boss much faster, much easier. These are my tips. Let me know if you think these are helpful. Let me know in the comments if there's other things that you'd recommend for players who are doing these missions by themselves. Like I said, these are really tough to do. So let me know in the comments. Please hit that subscribe button. Most importantly though, thanks for watching, and we will catch up soon.